Hello and welcome. I'm Candy, your business coach and systems specialist. And today we're going to be diving into the three core foundational systems that are going to set you free, save you time, and scale your impact. So, if this is the first time that we are connecting, say hello in the comments below. If you're catching the replay, comment #replay. I have a few slides to share with you. So, let me just share my screen with you. Amazing. Okay, so first we want to check in if this sounds familiar. Are you currently working 50 to 80-hour weeks, including the weekends? And be honest, you might be capped at 7 to 10K months and feeling maxed out and thinking, well, how on earth am I going to scale my business without working more hours? There's only so many hours in the day, and you seem to be spending them all. You feel like you can't take any time off because when you stop, the business stops. You might be finding yourself missing those important family moments of dinner or bedtime routines or the weekends and feeling like you're kind of maybe present in the room, but not really there mentally. Or you might be telling yourself that you just need to push through this season and that it will quieten down soon, 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 and it never seems to. So if this is how you're feeling at the moment in your business, then you are running a business without systems that make scaling possible. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's just that what got you here is not going to get you to this next stage of scaling beyond 10K months. So we're going to talk about those three systems. So if you don't have those clear systems in place, then your income is very much connected to the amount of time that you have, your available hours. You can't take time off. You are literally the bottleneck. And growing from here is going to inevitably lead to burnout, which we obviously don't want. So with systems, you have the ability to earn more while working less. This is a key piece. With systems, growth comes without the chaos. We get to grow and scale our business from a place of feeling really spacious, really grounded, really connected to ourselves. And so we're scaling without burnout. So the businesses that scale are always the businesses that have clear, clean structures and systems and infrastructure in place in order to hold and to support the expansion sustainably of your business. So let's look at those. So the three core systems that any business needs is one, business systems, which is all about revenue and how you make money. It's how your business is structured. The second one is operational systems, and this is how the work gets done. And this includes partly your team and delegating. And then system number three is your leadership system. So who's doing what and when, and all of these things, when they combine together, they make scaling sustainably possible. So let's look at system number one, business systems, how you make money. So this is about your business model, your offers, your structures, your pricing. And so if you've got a gap here, most commonly you're in custom delivery mode. So this means that perhaps you've gotten this far in your business by having really deep relationships, having those one-on-one connections, and someone comes in, asks for your support, and you really design on the fly. So your client experience is different. Perhaps you're building your service delivery, your support, and your resources as you're going, as you're serving. It's kind of custom made for them as you go. Every client is different. The price points are all different. And every single time it requires your personal time and energy. And so, of course, you're maxed out. It can't scale beyond you. And you're really kind of reacting to every client and creating as you go. And that does serve to a certain point in your business, especially in those early days when you're in the experimental phase and you're figuring out who you like serving, what you like doing, you're developing your skill set and your body of work. But there comes a point where no longer is this sustainable and you really need to switch gears and to consolidate and refine things so that we can have some systems available and to streamline things, to optimize things, and to really go through your body of work, your resources, who you love serving, and really strip all of the noise out in order to streamline it, make it super repeatable, and so that we can build those systems and structures so that you can serve more people ultimately. So, big part of the business systems is looking at your business model. Is your business set up for scalable offers? Are they systemized and repeatable? Are you currently charging for your time? So trading, 60 minutes for X amount of dollars, because if you're in this kind of model, it's impossible to scale your time. So instead, we want to shift and look at value-based pricing. So looking at longer-term programs, long-term containers, looking at what it is that we're supporting people to create, what results we're creating, what is the return on that investment, what are we saving them in terms of financially and emotionally. And when we have these things in place, we're able to grow our revenue beyond us, or grow your revenue without you, or mostly where you are in your most impactful zone of genius, right? So we're scaling in and getting rid of any of the pieces that are kind of superfluous or not necessary or not adding value, and just really stripping it all back so that the business can grow beyond your personal time and energy. So I'm going to give you a quick example of this. So one of my clients, she was serving and customizing and building as she went. And we looked back at how long this project was taking her to execute and deliver. And we worked out that it was costing her 100 hours per client by doing it this way. And so even though she was charging 12.5K, it was costing her a lot of time. So when she worked out how much per hour she was actually earning, she was still undercharging and still operating from a time for money model. So what we did is we built a platform behind the scenes. We optimized her method. We looked at what they really needed in order to get their result. And we created all those rinse and repeat resources, mapped out that service delivery program, and designed it in a way that it no longer needed 100 hours. In fact, we got that down to 20 hours of her delivery time over 6 months. So we reduced her time by 80%. So what took her 100 hours now takes her 20. So that's business systems. So that comes down to her business model, her offers, her service delivery, and all of that was optimized as part of that. So the second system is operational system. So this is how your business runs. So the gap here is if you need to clone yourself, if you're the one-woman show, if you're doing literally every aspect of your business, perhaps it's all in your head, it's all manual, and you do it every time, rinse and repeat, you're doing it at the same time. It's customized every time, so every email is different, every message is different. Every offer is different, and it's very much dependent on you. There's no one can step in and be trained in this. It's very much down to you, and it's very messy and complicated, and you can't delegate that. So when we have operational systems, we've got processes that are documented. We have repetitive tasks that have been automated. It runs with or without you, and we have quality maintained systems so that every customer experience is the same, it's repeatable, they know what to expect, and we've designed that for excellence. We've designed that to support them to get the results that they want again and again and again and again. So an example of this might be your onboarding process. So if you're doing this all manually, doing this all yourself, that might look like sending or creating a contract or proposal that's different for each client, sending them a payment or an invoice link, sending them an email and asking them, to pay, instructions. You might be manually sending them forms and resources and, workbooks and things like that. Or you might be manually scheduling every session as you go rather than like pre-booking them up front. So what we do is we would automate all of this. So basically the client signs up, they've said yes, that they're going to work with you, and all of those things are automatically drip fed out and automated so that it literally requires like maybe 5 minutes of your personal time. Or we can even train a VA or build out those processes and systems so this part can be offboarded. So you've got team who can hold and support these things, so that 10 clients doesn't equal 10 times the amount of work. So this is what operational systems and operational infrastructure looks like. Now, the third system is leadership system. So who does what? And that includes you. Even if you don't have a team, or you don't tend to have a team at the moment, very much getting clear on what is the best use of your time and where you might be bleeding time and energy. So if you've got a gap here, again, it comes down to the one woman show that you can't grow your business beyond you, or you can only grow to a certain point if you're the only person. You're literally doing the delivery, the marketing, the admin, the technology, the customer service, the sales. Like, most other businesses have different departments and a full team for each of these different roles based on their speciality, their skill set. And so it makes it incredibly overwhelming for you if you're doing all of these things. Like, again, that might help in the beginning when you're first growing your business, but you get to a point where it's actually costing and holding your business back by being the one woman show. So the leadership systems here are getting really clear on what is the best use of your time and energy, getting clear on what your role is. If you are choosing to hire a team, getting very specifically clear on what those different roles are and who handles what and what that looks like, who makes the decisions, what you need to be included in and where. Getting really clear on your schedule as well, your availability, time blocking, making sure that you have dedicated time to work on your business, not just in your business. Your service delivery is really, ideally, should only be a certain, a third of your sort of time that you spend in your business. The other half should be, or the other however many percent, 66% should really be on strategy and that high level business thinking. It should be on training, developing your team, building those relationships, serving to being in your zone of genius as much as possible. And then, of course, having the boundaries to protect your role and your family time as well, your personal time and energy, because you didn't start your business to spend your whole life working, right? You wanted freedom. So we want to get clear on, where that has perhaps bled out, where you're leaking time and energy, and so that you can really be in business and then also have that time with your family, to travel, for your self-care, for all of those things that fulfill you outside and beyond your business. So as a CEO, you really want to be spending most of your time looking at strategy, spending time on that high-level client work, the work that only you can do, building your relationships in your business, and focusing on that long-term planning. You're at that higher level, and then you're delegating and outsourcing to people who have those different skill sets that really aren't you in your zone of genius. Everything else gets delegated or automated. And this frees you up to be working 3 or 4 days a week and scaling beyond 20K months. So this is the leadership structure or leadership system that you need in order to be able to scale your business. So just a quick recap, we've got business systems, which is how you are making money, how your business is set up. Then we've got the operational systems, which is how everything gets done. And then the leadership systems, which is who is doing what and when exactly, when we're available, when people have access to us, how often, how frequent, what's our schedule looking like, all of those things. When we have each of those systems in place, we have a really strong structure and systems in place to be able to scale sustainably long term and to be able to maintain that without sacrificing our personal health, our well-being, our family, our freedom, any of those things. We get to have legacy, we get to have an impact, we get to have the impact, and we get to have personal freedom as well. So you might be thinking, okay, great, well, where do I start? Which system do I need the most? And what's eating up all my time and energy? And if that's the case, I have got an amazing resource that I've prepared for you, and I'll share a quick sneaky peek at that. So I have created the CEO time audit. So this is a Google Doc which has a whole lot of questions that you can tick It's kind of like a gap audit that's going to allow you to really assess like where you're bleeding time and energy, where to start, what's the top priority, breaking those things down into step by step in order to help you have super clarity on where to focus your energy, how to get started, and how to start building momentum so that you can grow your business sustainably. So comment below time, and I'll send you your very own copy with that and you can do that in your own time, experiment, get that extra layer of clarity of now, okay, how do I go and implement these systems and get started so that I can scale my business sustainably. All right, I hope you enjoyed that training. I would love to hear in the comments what your biggest takeaways were, which gap you had, and I cannot wait to see you next time for our very next training.